Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Happy New Comic Book Day, April 16th, 2025. I hope all you guys found all your books in your cubby on the new comic book shop wall. However you guys get your books, I hope you guys found all the books you're looking for this week. I know I did, and again, I have two titles that I ended up dropping for different reasons, actually, than last time. And again, we'll talk about that. As always, I do want to shout myself out. Come check out my Whatnot shows. All kinds of cool books. Amazing Spider-Man. I've got Batman. I've got come check me out. Click the links below. Give me a follow. So I had to drop. Let's get dived into this loud and mysterious black bag extra today. All right. So before we get dived into the two books that I got this week, we'll talk about two books that did come out this week that I had been getting, that I dropped and why I dropped them. So first up is Nightwing. We'll talk about that first, because there, I think a lot of people I've seen a lot of people dropping Nightwing, so there is like valid reason right now to drop Nightwing. Not that this one's tough, because I wouldn't say that I'm disinterested in the title right now, just that when I pick up a new issue, and this has kind of been the case for the last 5 weeks, or 5 issues that have come out ever since Tom Taylor left the book, right? That I'm not as invested, because when I pick up the next issue, I'm a little muddled as to where we are in the story. Not that we're starting at a different point than we left off, if it's just not that, it's that I'm not remembering it all that well, right? The something's just not grabbing me, you know what I mean? And kind of hooking me into that story and making those characters memorable and making it kind of stick. So that's been the case on the title for a while. So what I would say is that I didn't specifically drop it just because of that. I am trying to make a few cuts here and there just to not spend as much, at least for the next few months, and maybe reevaluate at that point where the budget's at and what I can afford. But I did have to make some cuts due to honestly more like budgetary concerns and things like that, than it was that the title was really bad. Though, Nightwing was kind of riding on the line of maybe if it continued at this rate for another 3 or 4 issues, it might have hit my chopping block just based on merit alone, right? But at this point, it wasn't that it's bad, which, as just to rephrase this, I kind of couldn't really tell you what's going on totally in the story up until this point and why you should pick up this issue. And I think that's part of the problem, you know what I mean, is that I'm not as invested as I was. And then the other book that I actually am kind of, enjoying the run, honestly, but due to budgetary reasons, decided that I was gonna cut Detective Comics. Surprising, right? But because I have really been enjoying this Tom Taylor run, and he's part of what I really brought me over to Nightwing, and was Tom Taylor's really good run, and so. It's not that this detective run's bad, because this detective run's actually really good. It's very detective-oriented Batman, solving this mystery. He's got kind of a new love interest who's possibly got some part in the mystery that he's currently trying to solve. And so, you know, we're weaving through this storyline, and it's really good. And you know, this new bad guy, and there's supposed to be a reveal of who she is in this new issue. And what the heck? I even remember her name. Her name's Asima. So I was actually enjoying that run. Like, I'll be honest, I was enjoying that run, but I just decided that I would make a few cuts. And on that note, so I'm gonna spoil the top book, because the top book I almost cut due to its price. And so if you know what books came out and what books I've been getting, I almost cut it just because it was so expensive this week. But if I could hold on to one last thing at this point, just for these next couple months, it has to be my X titles, guys. It has to be the X titles that I've been enjoying. X Factor being one of them. So X Factor issue number 9 lands in my number 2 spot. Really cool Archangel cover. Always actually been one of my favorites. Maybe because one of the first comics that I remember reading was a main, Archangel issue. He was kind of the main character of it. And so he's not really in this issue, although that does happen. He shows up like that at a certain point. But it's more about some of the other characters who I'm super interested in. And again, in this issue, Granny takes main stage, in my opinion, and she has the greatest one-liners and the best quips and some of the most fun action scenes in the book. Granny's a blast. I've been saying it since the beginning, and yeah, I don't know. It's a fun title, guys. There's not too much heady going on, though there is a little bit of kind of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style of comedy that I really do enjoy, and that may be the best that I have ever described the book. I know I've said a lot of times that it has parts of The Boys and parts of this and parts of that, and all that's true, but I think what it really boils down to is it hits this weird comedy angle that really does remind me of Hitchhiker's Guide. So in my number 1 spot, as I said, I maybe slightly spoiled it for you guys this week. I almost dropped it due to the title, guys, but I've really been liking this run, and I wasn't disappointed. Let's say that I wasn't disappointed. Lands in my number 1 spot. Wolverine, issue number 8, Legacy 400, big fat 64-page one, and it was $7.99. It came out to $8.50 with taxes. Crazy, but it was a really good read. Like, one of the things I've really liked about Saladin Ahmed's run is he's kind of like putting us in the head of Wolverine, like, and I really think he's doing a great job of kind of what would it be like to be in the brain of a 200 or 150-year-old guy that's seen a lot of bad things happen to people and has lost most of the people he's cared about, and has some people he cares about now and definitely doesn't want to lose those people. He knows what loss is, right? And yeah, man, it's just it's just a good well-written comic. And seemingly we kind of wrapped the storyline here. Not the adamantine storyline, but I think we wrapped up one of the other storylines with a pretty nice bow. I enjoyed that, and I felt like it kind of hit its peak and stride in this particular issue, and then wrapped up nicely. And you know, there's still some hanging threads there with adamantine and things of that nature. That bad guy, he's still looming on the horizon. He didn't get finished off in this issue. I don't think that's really a spoiler. You didn't expect him to at this point, right? You know, we had this back half with I think it was maybe like a 7-page story by Daniel Warren Johnson, sort of an Elseworlds tale, if you will, and it was kind of cool. It was like a samurai Wolverine character that you know, has to like most of those, if you've ever watched a samurai movie, you know, he's got to fight to take down the guy and avenge the deaths of others. And it was pretty cool. I liked the art in it. I did like the art. Yeah, we set something up at the end of this issue that I'm really intrigued by. Without spoiling, you know, anything, but we set up something in the final, as we approach the final panels of Wolverine 400. We set up something that I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. And yeah, I'm really intrigued. So I'm glad I stomached the price this week and grabbed it. Oh man, these legacy number issues, they can be a little pricey. They gouge us, right, guys? I've had some of the legacy numbers from the last Amazing Spider-Man run that were $9.99, and it's just like, man, it's crazy. All right, guys, that's what I have today. Come check out my Whatnot shows. Help me out. Big things are coming, and I hope to share that all with you very soon. We'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.